Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurship Decoded. I'm so excited for you guys to meet my new friend Anne. She is a Facebook marketing strategist, podcast host, and she's from the Philippines. So she's got a lot of experience, a lot of great advice to share with us today. So how are you doing, Anne?
I'm good. It's morning here as of for recording this, and it's a good way to exercise the voice very early in the morning. But thanks for doing this, Alex, and thanks for doing your show. You're doing a lot for your audience.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love sharing people's stories and really bringing motivation and passion to people. So let's dive right in. So I usually
Yes.
start by asking the guests to just explain their backstory. Like, who were you? Where did you come from? And like, who were you before you started to become the successful, amazing person you are today?
Oh, thank you. I started working as an employee for 12 years. It's a total of 12 years, both in private and government. The last employer that I had was the Philippine government. I worked at our labor department for 3.5 years before I decided to leave and never look back. I've been to many industries when I was working for those 12 years. I've been into logistics, real estate, school, and then the labor department. I learned during that time you don't understand like why there are systems, why are there processes, but then later on when I started working full time as social media marketing strategist during that time, I realized that those processes and systems that I was exposed to for the last 12 years, it's really helped me how to work on my process as well. So that's it.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I love how you kind of explain just the systems because every business has its own systems. And I think if employees can learn them and then if they feel like they need to go out and do their own thing, then you know how to do it. So that's really awesome. You were able to learn that much through that. So from
Yes.
your all of those years in different industries and working for mainly corporate and then you said the Philippines government, what were kind of the major challenges and things that you felt like were inhibiting you and your potential that led you to decide to go off and do your own thing?
Oh, I've had challenges along the way. The very first one was figuring out like why am I here? Because I just graduated during that time. This was in 2002, so it was just I was just treading the waters, and I was in a job that I it's okay, but I really don't like it after a few months of being there. So I was like, why am I even here? What are we doing? But then, you were bombarded with thoughts like you have to be grateful because you have a job. You have a job. Others don't have it, and it's really usual. If you're a Filipino, it's always the usual thought or belief that's given to you by anyone, not just your parents. So I had a first challenge. The second one is being in a job that I love, I realize I love, but then sustaining the motivation that I have for myself, in spite of what's happening around me. Because sometimes it's two ways. Because I found the job that I love. It's training people, and I was able to do that in the school. So I loved what I was doing, but then there in school you really have to level up your skills, your knowledge, so that the teachers that you're training, the non-teaching personnel that you're training will be working based on the school standards, and it's tough. And at the same time, there are people around you who are sometimes they are working with you, sometimes are working against you. So it's a matter of balancing, and that one is really tough because I was there for 5 years, and at the last stretch of the year, I just got burnt out because I really, really wanted I really wanted to do more, but then, I only have two hands, I only have one soul and everything, so that's really hard. So that one, and the third challenge that I experienced was um, just being able to express myself in what I do. If you are someone who really wants to to go beyond making a living out of your job, you're finding purpose on what you do. And with the third challenge that I had when I was working, um, there were standards, there were processes that were told that it's been there for decades. We're not going to touch it because no, it's not a problem. Like why fix it if it's not broken? And it's also the people, because I've dealt with people who've been working there for decades and quote unquote decade on their jobs, because there are people who are like that. And I've also known people who are like me, like we were driven, like we wanted to do this, but then those types of circumstances or even people are somehow hindrances to what we want to do. So it was a challenge because I really wanted to make a difference in what I do, even if that's just training people or evaluating their performance, because it's very important. But then life happens. Looking back, those challenges that I've experienced, it shaped the way I think about myself, what I'm capable of doing. I always hopefully it didn't taint the way I look at people. And lastly, it helped me um, look at things at a different perspective. It's like, okay, have I been in this situation before? What did I do before? And knowing what I know now, what am I going to do next? So that's it.
Yeah, that's great. So you feel like you learned the most from your challenges of being an employee, or do you feel like because everyone starting entrepreneurship or doing their own thing has challenges too? So you feel like you learned more with both, or was there one like working as an employee or as an entrepreneur that you felt was just the hardest struggle to get over?
Oh, the hardest struggle right now is, especially nowadays, is keeping everything thriving. You know, when learning what I learned as an employee for 12 years is really actually nothing compared to what I'm experiencing right now. Because of course, it's not only the shift on perspective, but also right now compared to what I've done before. Um, it's either I have a team under me or we are in one team, like we work things together. But now, usually, most of the time I'm on my own. So when I say I'm on my own, that means I'm also the human resource manager of myself. I'm also the CEO of myself. I am the manager of myself. And sometimes I'm the salesperson of myself, everything. And I had learning curves on every part of my business. I'm also the operations manager of myself. So um, others think it's cool because the thought of you work for yourself and you don't have a boss. It's not true. I'm the worst boss of myself, because if I don't do that, like my business would be dead by now, or maybe a long time ago. uh it's the shift of perspective, that what I'm doing is not, this is not an employee thing. This is a business. That's one of the things that I really had to rewire as I was going through this, and I continue doing so.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs have that in their head where it's like at the beginning, a lot of times you're wearing all the hats in the business. You're the accountant, the salesperson, the operations manager, all these different people doing all these different things, and it's hard. I think that's why a lot of people just revere from it and try not to do entrepreneurship or start a business because they're afraid of doing all of those things at once. And it is scary. It is riskful, and you're, like you said, you're working for yourself. So what were kind of the main motivational factors? What were your whys that pushed you and motivated you to keep going, keep doing pretty much everything in your business to keep growing it and make it successful?
Going into this business, the main reason why I jumped, or like what you said, I took the leap of faith because I almost died. I underwent an operation 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, and I told myself when I was recuperating, like, is this a life that I wanted? If I go back to my cubicle at work, is that the life I wanted? So it's kind of uh people say it's the millennials say it's the YOLO part. Like you live only once. But for me that was unique. There was a time when I came back to the office for the first time after the operation, and it's like life stopped in front of me, and then everyone was just doing their normal thing, talking to people, making calls, printing documents and everything, and I just had that eureka moment when I said, I don't want to do this anymore. So that's it. And you people might say, like, this that decision is kind of um very fast, but it took years to get there. And the pivotal moment for me was really the major operation. It's like, okay, if I die, what am I gonna do if there's really heaven or something, and if someone's really gonna ask me what I've done in my life, then what am I gonna say? I sat in a cubicle for decades, and that's it. Didn't do my life's purpose. So that's it. My main motivation right now is uh, continuing to help business owners with online marketing, especially in the last few months here in my country, and I'm sure also in yours, Alex. We have experienced how important it is to diverse, not only in on revenue streams, but also in how we do work, how we market our businesses online. And with I hope with the mastery that I've had, I want to help more business owners. I really want them to realize that the internet, and specifically digital marketing, it's really inevitable right now. It's either you're in there, or your business is going to die. And that's what motivates me every day, to wake up and help business owners, because the internet is out there. It's very open to everyone. All they need to do as a business owner is to be open with the possibilities, not be afraid to take risks, because in the first place, going into business is like what you said. It's scary, but we want to do this because for different reasons. It's for family, it's for securing their future and everything. So it's the same when I help business owners not be scared or overwhelmed with what's out there. So that's what is motivating me every day.
That's amazing. That's so inspiring just to hear you passionately speak about your that motivates you helping other people, other businesses. Just have keep your open options open and find those opportunities to grow their business and to have that security for themselves or family. That's really inspiring. I really appreciate that you're doing that. So that kind of goes in, I
Thank you
guess, my
so
next.
much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. More people like you. There's so many people out there that just have so much passion and they want to help so many people. And I think just hearing your story will give them that opportunity to do so and will just help them do that. So I really appreciate that. So I guess that kind of goes into my next question with you kind of talked about a little bit of how, especially during this COVID situation and how everyone's kind of having to stay home. Do you feel like that's affected the way that you've been running your business, or has that actually helped because there's more people staying at home and can do online marketing?
This is funny. I realized it sunk in to me that everyone's in the house around mid-April. So I was like, everyone is in the house. So it hasn't sunk in. It sunk in around mid-April. I realized it because Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks owner, went viral on LinkedIn because he posted a question for business owners like, "Hey, do you need help? We can go on a webinar. I'm gonna answer your questions." So it went viral, maybe around 100,000 comments on LinkedIn alone. And okay, I was like, okay, he's not doing anything. He's not in his usual, meetings and of course Shark Tank taping. And the second one was when actor John Krasinski launched his Some Good News on YouTube, and it was just at least 1 million views on the first few hours of each episode airing. And it both those uh, people made me realize that, hey, oh wow, really, people are not really doing anything. And I have a podcast. It's Spin to Top, and I said, okay, if people are in the house, that means that I can email anyone, and most like there's a very high probability that I'm gonna get a yes, and it happened. It happened. I was able to interview Perry Belcher, formerly of Digital Marketer, and I was really blown away. Like I wasn't able to speak for a day because he said yes. So that really meant that, wow, this guy's here's the contrary to that. Upon listening to him, he's busier than ever, but he was just able to pivot everything. Instead of doing this, okay, I pivoted, okay, let's do this instead. So he was able to work out on businesses that uh before that was not working for him, but all of a sudden it's booming. So he was in there, and somehow he was, maybe because of his experiences, he became ready for whatever this pandemic has brought. From my end, I have a client that told me to stop doing Facebook marketing because he says it's not he felt like it's not the right time to market right now. And I really sent him a very honest and blunt message telling him that it's the most stupid thing that you ever do. Because I'm really honest with my clients. So and they don't mind. And I said that's the most stupid thing you'll ever do right now. But if that's your decision, then that's fine. I'm saying that to you as your business partner because we've been doing this together for years. And I have another client that had to do half of Facebook marketing only. So instead of, for example, we're doing a month's worth of content. Currently, we're just on half. It still doesn't make any sense to me, but they are the decision makers of their business first and foremost. But I had got another client during this time, so that's good. And one of my clients located here in Asia, we just got another account. So that's the one that I'm also managing right now. But and during this time as well, at the time of pandemic, I have a weekly learning session that I launched on the last week of February when things were still going well, we thought. But then, as it turned out, it was a good time to invite people to learn, because number one, people are like what we've talked about. People are in the house, and other people, for them, this is the right time to relearn or learn new things. So the learning sessions were just right on time. So I was very happy with that. And to me, it was something to divert my attention to, instead of counting how many cases we have, and how many in the world, because it gets scary sometimes. And those are the things that I've done during this pandemic. I've also done, since the podcast is already on. I've also helped employees who were suddenly asked to work from home. I did a live session with them. I got my friends in, and I asked them, what are your take on this? Because you've been doing this for quite some time. What can you tell the employees to do? Because they're confused, like they don't know what to do. Their kid, if they are parents, there are kids. How do you tell them that, hey, mommy's gonna work from home for the next few days, but it doesn't mean we're gonna play every day. So we had that one, and it was liberating. It was liberating because um for the longest time, like people don't even know that, they don't even know that what we're doing is really tough. And then all of a sudden they're going to realize it. But we I went into the helping mode, instead of telling them that, you know we've been doing this for a long time. We told you you can do that from home, because it's very easy to do that. It's very easy to tell people that, yeah, I told you so. But it shouldn't be the case during these times of crisis. Everyone should be able to lift each other up. That's what I've kept busy on during this pandemic, and I hope everything went well for everyone.
That's great. You just keep throwing value out there everywhere, live going on
Thank
and
you.
all the different things that you're doing. It's great. So what's kind of the main thing that your business does? You said you're like Facebook marketing strategist. Like what is the main thing you do to help businesses and people, individuals do on Facebook?
As a Facebook marketing strategist, I make sure that their Facebook pages are well optimized, they're well managed. So that means that they're the very important assets, cover photo, profile photo. I go beyond that. Scrutinizing every post, like, okay, we shouldn't have this content anymore. Your audience doesn't like it. Um, aligning the marketing plan that they have, and bringing it on Facebook, so that it's not only that the audience knows it, but also their employees know it, because that's very important for me. So the alignment of those things, and with the ads also being done on Facebook, I also help people do that, because in both cases, for both content creation, Facebook content and Facebook ads, business owners are having um, concerns on that, because they're saying it's not, there are a lot of concerns. They're saying it's not converting, or it's not giving me what I wanted. And or see, even sometimes, how come my competitor is doing a lot of content, like I don't have time for that. So those are the things that I'm helping business owners with, because I want them to relieve themselves of the overwhelm, because once a business owner is overwhelmed, they're going to stop it. they're going to stop what they're doing, and they might go back to the old way of marketing, and sometimes the old way might be the traditional one. And as we have known during this time, it's not going to work well. So if on the other hand, if business owners have been doing the old way and then going into the new way of doing things, then I help them put them together and have synergy, so that they will see that there's beauty in both. Um, so that's one. I want them to be relieved of the overwhelm, because once the overwhelm sets in, they're gonna say, this does not work for me. I'm not gonna go back there, and because yada 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 yada. And the second one is making them assuring them that their audience is out there. They can reach a lot more people than ever before. That's because of the power of social media, specifically Facebook. Here in the Philippines, we're really big on Facebook. Like most of the people are getting their information on Facebook. Kind of scary uh, sometimes, but that means that more and more people are connected. So that means there's a very big possibility that the audience of a business owner is out there. They're just waiting for you to be there as well and talk to them like human beings. So those two things, I help business owners uh, do Facebook marketing. That's the overwhelm. And the second one is really making assuring them that their audience is out there. All they have to do is to step out and talk to them like friends.
That's great. I feel like I need a marketing strategist or something because it's going through content and figuring it all out, like what's the best thing to post and what's the algorithm. There's so many things that go in with it. So it's like people like you probably make the process so much easier. So thank you for putting out.
Yeah, the thing with algorithms, that's the one that they're scared about. So, this like sometimes I can't even spell what algorithm is, and I was like, those are that's one of the reasons. Like, that's one of the reasons why they're scared. The word algorithm. Ever since that word popped up, all of a sudden everyone feels like they know it, but actually they don't understand. So I tell them that I'm here to help. It's not the algorithm that you should be scared of, or it's not something that you should have nightmares at night. It's not a problem. The problem is really connecting with your audience, because if you're putting valuable content out there, your algorithm can actually be your friend. Because there are business owners, they're always saying that. Um, I have the algorithms are affecting the way I do my Facebook marketing. And sometimes if you ask them why is it so, and then they couldn't even explain. So it's like you can't you can't make you can't make a problem and you can't even explain it, right? So that's one thing. That's why I try to help them. They're into terminologies and concepts that sometimes that are way beyond them, and they couldn't explain. So that's why I step in and say, you know what? You do the very thing that you really love doing, which is taking care of your business. I will help you on other stuff, because you have so much on your hands.
That's awesome. I bet that's such a relief to business owners to have people like you helping them out with things that they don't understand.
I hope so. I really do hope
I
so.
bet, I bet. But with everything that you've been doing, all your lessons that you learned, and with all the businesses you've been working with, if someone wants to start out as an entrepreneur or a business leader, what advice would you give them to as they're starting out, or if they feel like they're stuck or where they are? Where do you, as someone who's an entrepreneur, what things that have helped you that you think that other people should know, advice that you could give them?
um this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So keep yourself at base in all areas of your life. Make sure you physically you're healthy, emotionally you can handle situations at ease or under pressure, mentally, um, be able to work with all kinds of people, because even if you are online, it doesn't necessarily mean you do not work with people. That's still very important. um, Keep learning, never stop learning. Part of learning is still attending conferences, seminars, networking, both online and offline, and getting the best mentors that you can possibly have, because they know the shortcuts because they failed many times. And if you don't want to do the same thing, um, get the best mentors so that you will, as much as possible, um, not experience what they have experienced, because it's a waste of time and money and resources and emotions sometimes. People, most of the time, the ones closest to you are not going to be very supportive of what you're going to do, but you just keep at it if you think this is for you. I've had experiences wherein family and friends are very quiet when I started doing this, because maybe they don't understand what I was doing. I think I'm the first in the family that has done this crazy thing, because everyone is in the, go get a job, stay there for a few decades, get a retirement, have fun. And with what happened to me, I realized I can't be that person. So the closest to you are the ones that are not going to believe you at first. So it's gonna hurt, but you just keep at it. Um, Small steps are big steps. So you just keep at it. Later on, if you do not stop what you're doing, you just keep at it. You will see the fruits of your labor. You're gonna reap your harvest later on. You just need to have the patience, for doing things. Never be afraid to delegate. Oh my God, because there are times when business owners, because I've experienced it, business owners, um, there's a part of a business that they really really love doing, but if you want to scale your business, then you will really have to let go of those things. Instead of, for example, instead of micromanaging, you really have, if you want to scale your business, and you really have to stop it. Trust your employees that they're going to do the job well, or trust your marketing strategist that he or she's doing well, or doing this for you because he or she cares for your business. um, have the patience and in doing all these things. And one day soon, you're gonna get your very first sale. You're gonna have to jump for joy. You have to celebrate the little things, because if you're ready for little things, you'll be ready for the big ones. That's it. Taking the leap of faith is, it's really not easy, but it's it's your faith in a higher being, and the faith in yourself. It's really going that those are your grounds. That's what's going that has to be your roots. The faith in something that is higher than you, and your faith in yourself. That's what's going that has to be your business roots. And then everything is going to go from there. You'll be fine. um it's failures. Be ready for failures. The thing is, they're not graded here. It's not school. But if there are failures, you just look at it on a perspective of, what have I learned from this? What am I going to learn from this? And um, someday, you just don't know, you might be sharing it on a show like this, and tell people that, hey, I failed, but then looking back, this is what it gave me, and I'm sharing it to you. That's it.
Wow, that's so much
I know
advice.
that's a lot and it's a mouthful, but that's
I hope everyone was taking notes and they were just writing all that stuff down. I
it.
got to do this. That was very inspiring, and the fact that you learned so much so far shows that, like you said, failures are life lessons, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. All those things, they coincide, they go together, and that makes you a great business owner. So, Anne, thank you so much. I love getting to know you, your story, how everything went in your life, and how you just keep bringing value to people. It's really inspiring and passionate to see you doing that. So I really appreciate you going on. If anyone watching or listening wants to know more about Anne, needs a marketing strategist, your girl, all of her stuff is down below. All of her information is in the description. As you guys know, my ebook is now live. That is down below as well. Secret Success Guide. Yes, it is pretty cool. It's my first book. It's a little rough, I guess, but it's still got some great advice, great secrets in there for you guys to just get out there and start your business. So thank you, Anne, again. I really appreciate you giving me your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me as well.